public has a right to know the size of Alan Davies' penis. That might be a defence. The other is consent. He agreed with me about the size of his penis. The other one is vulgar abuse. Surely you didn't believe me when I said you had a small penis. I was just being rude to you. I was not defaming you. It'd be like if I called you, you know, one of the unacceptable taboo swear words. If I called you a motherfucker, you know, it's not defaming you. Whereas if I actually wrote down that I believed you actually incestuously did have sex with your mother, that would be defamatory. So that's the difference.
Not with a penis that size.
No. That's just going all over the place.
Can we see the evidence? It's all about evidence.
Not from there, it's mine.
No. Just let me
No, Brian.
No, but the first person at home going, I should never have gone HD.
Rise.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. There is a...
Is this on BBC Three these days?
So sorry, I'm Brian, I know. Anyway, that's the point. Saying a character isn't very well hung could save you from a libel action. Which reality TV format was invented by Charlemagne's father? There's a picture of Charlemagne.
Big Brother?
It's not as well as Big Brother. Right. I will give you a clue.
Celebrity Big Brother? On Channel 5?
I'm a king, get me out of here.
That will cover it. I can tell you it was presented by Dale Winton.
Supermarket Sweep?
No,
Total Wipeout? What else has he done?
Oh, yeah, you're pretty good. You're good.
Yeah, I know the workings
Big
of...
fan.
Yeah. You're good on Dale.
Yeah.
You probably don't know who Dale Winton is, do you?
Chap or lady?
Audience, behave. He's a very charming gentleman, Mr. Winton. Well turned out, crisply well turned out gentleman. Very nice man.
Who was his father then?
Well, Charlemagne's father is a good question. You're unlikely to have heard of him. I'd be very impressed if you have heard of him. He was Count Pepin the Short, unfortunately. But if you go back to... This is even pre-medieval. This is the Dark Ages. If you go back to that time, justice was meted out in all kinds of odd ways. And one of the odd ways, it was a system of testing, which was called an ordeal.
An ordeal.
Ordeal. There were various kinds of ordeal.
So it's ordeal or no ordeal?
Oh, no. If only with Noel Edmonds we were talking about, then that would do it.
Is he a lady or a man?
Is Noel Edmonds... Well, ordeals. This particular ordeal involved... two people had a quarrel, and they both had to make the shape of a cross, see? And stay there. I don't know what that's about.
Someone said he's got a small penis.
Are you a real doctor?
It was called Judicium Crucis, the justice of the cross in Latin. And basically, it's a bit like those school punishments where they make you do that, if you ever did that. The one who just dropped his hands first was wrong. And it happened to the Archbishop of Paris with the Abbot of Saint-Denis. Only they would use champions to do it for them. So they would say, you on my behalf, stand for as long as you can in the cross. And in this case, the Archbishop of Paris won.
It's a pity you have to nominate someone, because if you didn't, you could just pick on old people, couldn't you, in those days, did you know?
You could have ordeals by tickling. They genuinely had all kinds of ordeals. Ordeals by water, ordeals by fire, and so on. But there is a car game.
Is it that one where you've got to keep your hand on the car?
Yeah!
Yeah, and then the last one wins it.
You see?
Yeah.
You do know it.
Yes, I do.
Dale Winton presented, I think on Channel 5, an endurance game show based on a Japanese original called Touch the Truck. That's Dale there.
I'd love to watch that. Just loads of people touching a car and then that's it.
Yeah.
For an hour.
For an hour? 81 hours.
It's well, because... I'd Sky Plus it and fast forward through it.
It's basically the last one to give up on touching the truck.
But it doesn't do anything, you just stand there...
No, you have to touch it.
Yeah, it's going 80 mile an hour. That's a game show.
You were allowed... You were allowed a 10-minute break every 2 hours and 15 minutes every 6 hours.
This is made up, isn't it? No one would...
If you fell asleep, you were disqualified, so you had to stay awake. You couldn't just lie on the car with your hand on it. So you had to be consciously touching it. And the idea was the last person left touching it won it. And the winner, you probably want to know all about him, I expect. He won the truck, obviously, and he sold it in order to raise funds to stand as a political...
arm surgery.
No. To stand as a political candidate. He stood for Kingston and Surbiton at the 2001 general election. There was a turnout of 49,093 people, and he secured 54 votes.
Wow. We do it in New Zealand. It's a radio show contest. It quite often happens. Yeah, we're probably the last country still doing it. It's the only way you can get your cars back in New Zealand.
Doing it on radio sounds even weirder to me, I have to say.
Still touching it? They're still touching it?
Do you have to drop on it?
No, they interview the people who are touching the car. So
right.
I've got John here. How's it going? Ah, good. I'm still touching it. You know. How many hours now? 7.
Anyway, that's it. That's basically a game show inspired by a Dark Ages... endurance test, yeah. Extraordinary, isn't it? What sentence would you recommend in Jedward Justice?
Life.
I feel very sorry here for Rhys. We're giving you all kinds of cultural references that can mean nothing to you. Have you heard of Jedward?
Yeah. Are they judges? They look very young.
I believe Irish... Are they twins?
They're conjoined twin judges.
They're not conjoined.
Well, they've done well, haven't they?
That's like the whole thing about the whole point of them. They're conjoined.
Are they?
They're conjoined twins, yeah.
No, it looks like they are.
Joyce, come on!
Who has the arm in the middle?
They do look a little strange, I have to say, but that's probably because of the wig business.
No. Nothing to do with it.
Okay.
It's got nothing to do with it.
But anyway, there really is such a thing as Jedward Justice. This predates these twinsters.
Maybe that's where they got their name from, really.
Oh, I don't think so, really. This is a town which was originally called Jedward, and then it changed its name to Jedburgh. It still exists. Jedburgh, you may have heard of it.
In the northeast.
It is. It's on the borders, in fact. It's a border town, and that's the clue, really. The borders, as you know, suffered throughout history. Incursions and raids from England, raiding through Scotland, stealing, and vice versa. And they were often summarily hanged without a trial, and it was known as Jedward Justice. And our name for that, where someone is especially killed without a trial, is... what word do we use for that?
Oh, lynch mob.
Lynch. Now, where does the word lynch... Why is it called lynch?
I have absolutely no idea.
Well, there's a claim to the origin of the term lynch, which is a man called James Lynch Fitzstephen, who was the mayor of Galway in Ireland, and he hanged his own son from the balcony of his house after convicting him of the murder of a Spanish visitor in 1493. Wow. So that's pretty bold, isn't it?
Wow. That's on a bike.
It's extreme. He learned his lesson. He never did it again. No.
Did you say hang his own phone for stealing a bike?
No. No. What did you think I said?
I misheard you because I'm so hungry. I can't concentrate when I'm hungry.
Killing a Spaniard.
For killing a Spanish visitor, yes, Spaniard. He killed...
Do you not listen to...
No, he doesn't.
No, I'm starving hungry.
Are you?
And now I can't concentrate because I'm having a blood sugar crash.
I hope I never get called up for jury service and you're hungry in the afternoon. What was it, kill a Spaniard or stole a bike?
It's quite an important difference.
Starving. Can I get an apple?
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Stole a bike.
Your mind was wandering.
Up, I was thinking about pasta.
When his brain sugar drops, I'm afraid all kinds of weird things start to happen.
Well, has no one got something to eat here? Can we not...
Are you bringing something down?
There you go, come on.
Thank you very much.
What's that?
Flapjack.
Oh, flapjack!
I do.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, go on.
Oh, she has to be kissed. Very good.
You got something to eat for Stephen as well?
No, honestly, I'm fine.
When was the bicycle invented? It wasn't invented in 1493, was it? So it's
No,
doubly,
it wasn't.
doubly ridiculous.
In fact, questioning Alan's... As if Alan's mind works on logical rails.
You'll be found guilty of that. Stole me bike. You what? I don't know.
I don't even know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
It should be just enough sugar to get your mind to tell the difference between somebody murdering a Spaniard and stealing a bike.
Before the invention of the bike.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Let's just do the question again. Come on.
No. You don't get away with it that easily. Anyway, moving on. Why should you never leave a judge in a room on his own?
He might sentence himself.
As it were.
As 'twere, yeah.
As 'twere, yeah.
Well, you're not allowed to. Well, if you're a barrister, you're not allowed to.
That's right.
I used to work at the Crown Courts in Manchester, and as the accused. And, quite a bit. No, I used to. My dad and auntie were stenographers, so I used to sort of do like over the summer.
They use those machines.
Yeah, that sort of palaver. And if you were the last barrister knocking about, you weren't allowed to leave if the judge was still in.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
It's called dressing the judge. You don't actually dress him, it's just known as dressing the judge. They're a smug-looking lot there, aren't they? They look
One at the back's had a lovely moment.
He really is. It's a bit of a bliss out, isn't it? He's really very happy. But in fact, in actual terms of dressing a judge, it's a very expensive business. The High Court judge's attire can amount to £14,920. That's quite expensive for your work gear. It includes the cost of 2 scarlet robes, like this, and a silk one. The horsehair wig costs £1,295. They have court breeches with buckles at £665.
Stockings, suspenders.
Yeah, well, they do have to wear stockings.
Bras.
When you take silk, you have to wear 2 pairs of stockings as a barrister. And the reason for that is that Queen Victoria was very offended by the sight of men's hairs sticking out from their legs through the silk tights.
That is
so
horrible.
they had to wear 2 pairs of tights so their hairs didn't stick out. And this tradition continues to the day. Isn't that interesting? Yes, it is, Stephen. Thank you. Good.
But the wig sort of doubles up now because, I mean, I don't know if it's always been the case, but in a sort of Superman-type disguise, like, if you ever see a judge out of his wig and robe, and he looks completely different. So he can sort of have a little wander around Manchester City Centre, even though everyone hates him, and no one knows that they hate him.
That is one of the reasons they cling on to this whole business. They say it does give them a kind of anonymity.
Barristers are not allowed to shake hands with each other either.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're not allowed to shake hands with each other.
Well,
They fist pump, do they?
You see? Out of court, they don't shake hands with each other.
Interesting.
I think it must be down to just well, if he's looking after me, I don't want to see him.
Yeah, I guess.
Fraternising with the enemy. Sort of thing.
Do you know about this one? You might do it if you're not properly dressed as a barrister. If you've not got the right black and white, or you're wearing a colourful tie or something like that, the judge, as it were, can't see you.
All right.
He actually says, "I cannot see you," and also, "I cannot hear you." If he's not properly dressed, I cannot hear you. You can shout as loud as you like. If he's not properly dressed, can't see you, can't hear you. All of that. So that until they wear the right clothes, they cannot be seen or heard by the judge.
It'd be a weird situation if you didn't know what item of clothing you had on that was offending him.
Yes.
And you'd be going, is it the bow tie? Is it the... And then at the second you took it off, he went, hello!
Well, there was
There you are.
Anyway, now, what happened when the biggest miser in the land forgot his reading glasses?